Okay, you're on.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We've got some pretty big breaking news here.
Yeah, we do. Jury deliberations have been going on in the trial of Karina Vetrano, the murder trial there, and it has just ended in a hung jury, a mistrial in that case after almost 2 days of jury deliberations now.
Yeah, this is one of certainly the most talked about trials in our area, and so this is the second day. Deliberations actually went late into the night. We actually just learned literally moments ago about the hung jury. Jay Dow's at the court. We're going to be going to him live literally in less than 20 minutes live on Pix 7 News at 10. So make sure, number one, you're watching at 10 because Jay's outside court. Vetrano's family, her mother and father leaving court, we're told. So a lot's happening right now.
Talk a little bit about what's going on. Judge Aloise, obviously, is the person who was accused in this. He pleaded not guilty in this case. But, you know, according to the attorneys here, they say that the jury wanted more evidence in this.
Right.
And we talked to James Ford earlier today. Jay Dow was on it tonight. But they wanted about 10 pieces of additional evidence. And we saw that come over at 5 o'clock today. And we're kind of surprised by exactly what they were looking at.
Looking at the case again, right.
Right. There was concern and there were questions about the DNA. There was questions of whether or not the crime scene had been contaminated. This is a 30-year-old girl, Karina Vetrano, who had gone jogging in Howard Beach and asked her dad to go jogging. His back was hurting.
Right.
She went on her own. There's video of her as she goes by and goes into an area where she jogged all the time, and she wound up being strangled and sexually assaulted. A short time later, Judge Aloise was arrested. They say he confessed,
There's a videotape.
but then the defense attorneys are saying that he was coerced into that confession. So a lot of questions about this, but some people thought that this was going to be an open and shut case, and that is not the case. Again, Jay Dow tonight is at the courthouse, but James Ford was there earlier saying that the deliberations were going on and on past 6 o'clock, and we were kind of surprised about that. So we'll see what Jay has to say tonight about it.
Well, look, prosecutors have said all along, they said, look, we have a confession. We have DNA evidence. Prosecutors have felt and have sort of presented this as an open and shut case. Clearly, the jury did not see it that way. We don't know sort of the breakdown of of if it was, because again, this is a hung jury, so clearly some people felt one way, others felt another way. We have no idea the breakdown of that. Was it half one way, half the other? Was it one juror that felt one way that wouldn't agree with the others? Because again, you need to have a unanimous jury to convict somebody. That's the way it works, or to go either way in the case.
Sure.
They couldn't figure it out.
So we're talking about a hung jury, a mistrial. We're talking about a family that has to go through this all over again, by the way, which is just the saddest part. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Ricky saying, I don't believe this guy was capable of doing it. Let's see.
Nicole saying, and I've heard people say this in comments before, Nicole felt like perhaps Judge Aloise may have been framed. The defense has presented that argument that prosecutors were and really police were so looking for an arrest that they just grabbed the first guy that they could and tried to pin this case on them. We have 5 minutes until the promo. So
there were a lot of questions about this, and we'll get a lot of questions answered with regard to what happened actually while these deliberations were taking place, because the jurors get to ask a lot of questions, and they get to ask to see other things that they saw, things that they heard during the course of this trial. Some of your comments tonight, a lot of people saying that they didn't believe he did it, that he was framed, they weren't sure. Maria saying an innocent man set free. So guys, this is certainly not over yet. Again, we're going to get the very latest, but this came over after several hours, and we're into day 2 of jury deliberations. We'll have the very latest for you coming up on the Pix 11 News at 10 o'clock. Be sure and join us. That is going to be certainly our lead story tonight, because we have a lot to learn from what happened in court today.
Well, I would just say this, too. I do think it's interesting that deliberations went as late as they did. That usually tells you something. Usually that means the jury feels like, number one, perhaps they might be close to a verdict in this case. And look, you have a big holiday coming up, right? You have Thanksgiving coming up.
Well, that's what we're talking
perhaps
about.
they wanted to get this done before Thanksgiving. They felt like, boy, we're close, we can get this done. And then tonight, at some point, they realized we're not going to get this done. We're never going to come to an agreement in this case.
Right. Well, and that's what we were wondering, and we didn't know if this had anything to do with the holiday weekend, that they were staying so long for this. But I got to tell you, at this point, with a case like this ending in a mistrial and so many questions, at I think it was around 5:30 today. 5:30 today when we checked in on this, and they were asking for just a list. I think there was 10 different things that the jury was asking for, and more importantly, where the DNA evidence was found. They were asking for a map of the trail
Right.
where she went jogging, and also to see his taped confession again, where defense attorneys say that he was coerced into making a confession. So, guys,
Yeah.
we got to get ready for our promo, but we'll see you coming
We have
up
3 minutes here.
on the Fix 11 News at 10. Be sure and join us for this one and a whole lot more coming up as well.
Yeah, so guys, well, make sure you're joining us at 10 o'clock as we follow this story and other news. We'll see you at 10.